Did you see in the Washington Post this weekend this amazing story about what was built underneath the Capitol Museum? Remember that Capitol Museum cost, what, $750 million to build? And I'm walking through the Capitol Museum a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, it doesn't look like a $750 million building.
It's nice, but
$750 million?
No.
And nobody on Capitol Hill had any problem with this. And this is during the Bush administration. Nobody had a problem with the $750 million Capitol Visitors Complex. I mean, I know we talked about it a little bit, but there's nobody in Washington that said this was a boondoggle. Now we are beginning to figure out why. The Washington Post had an amazing story this weekend about the secret meetings that happen way below the Capitol Visitors Complex. The Visitors Complex was a ruse. They built a visitors complex to make us believe they were building this stupid museum. There was a lot of infrastructure that's underneath the visitors complex, including, according to the Washington Post, and we'll get into this later on in the program, and tonight we're going to do a segment on this as well. I've never believed in the Star Chamber. I've never believed there's secret courts going on and things like that. I know the FISA court, but not Star Chamber stuff. According to the Washington Post, there are secret courts now. The FISA courts are deep below the Visitors Center in Washington, D.C., many stories below. Well, what is in between that? But many stories below, there are secret courts. And according to the Washington Post, they are now issuing Supreme Court-style decisions in this FISA court. That they are arguing back and forth, and they are issuing Supreme Court-style decisions on security and secrecy. So basically, who they can monitor, who they can't, who they can kill, who they can't. I'm not comfortable with the Star Chamber underneath the Capitol. Is anybody else?